Hello everyone, this is Jatin from gladtutor.com and today we are going to talk about personal selling, its meaning, importance, process, theories and the sales force management challenges. So this is the part 2 of our sales management series. To watch our previous video, click on the upper I button, or if you I have also put the link in the description, you can check out from there. So if you are a new user watching our video, then after watching this video, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. So without wasting so much time, let's get started. So firstly, come to the meaning of personal selling. Personal selling is where businesses uses the sales force to sell their product after meeting the face to face with the customer. So personal selling is like a salesperson go door to door to meet the customer or do the client meeting where they meet face to face and pitch their products, right? The sellers promote their product through their attitude, appearance, and the product specialist product knowledge. If you don't have a product knowledge, you will not be able to sell your product. So, personal selling is a promotional method in which one party uses their skills and techniques to build a personal relationship with the another party. That's why they can sell the product, because the main objective of personal selling is to create a personal relationship, personal touch with the other party, because in personal selling you are actually seeing what your customer is facing. Like if he doesn't want to buy your product, he can give the feedback to your face on that same time. So in other mediums of advertising or promotion, you will not get the direct feedback, but in personal selling you get the direct feedback, so which helps in getting more conversions or more sales. So this is all about the meaning of personal selling. I hope you got the meaning. Now come to the personal selling importance. So the first importance of personal selling is dynamic role. So a personal selling involves a person to be fully dynamic, like he should be full of energy, he should have full of idea, he should be so much active. If he is not active, he is not full of energy, then he can't sell his product, he can't influence his customer, he can't tell more about his product to the customer, then why he would buy. Focus of prospective customer. In personal selling, the seller has a complete focus on their prospective customer. Even in personal selling, what they do, what salesmen do, they go to the places where their prospective customer lies. Like if I have a product which is made for the working professionals, then on the working days I will go to the IT parks, or I will advertise near the IT parks or the commercial centers where the actual people work. So that's a place for me where my target audience, where my prospective customers will find. Yeah. So the third importance of personal selling is the two-way communication. This is the main benefit of personal selling, that in the in personal selling you get so much information from the customer, like what they want, what the actual problem is, and you can also provide necessary information to the customer about what your company offers, right? So in this, customer can actively involve with the salesman to solve his doubts and objections, so which is not possible in any other methods of market promotion. Personal attention. So if you talk about the another advertising methods, online advertising or publicity or any bill hoarding, that are all the mass communication tools, but which do not cater the individual needs. But if when you do personal selling, you give the personal attention to the customer, which give a personalized feeling that yeah, this customer is this salesman has just come for me, he just want to sell this product to me, not the whole not a mass of people. So which uh, is comparatively more effective and result oriented. The next importance of personal selling is detailed demonstration. Except the television advertisements, demonstration is not possible, or in except the online ads, demonstration is not possible in everywhere. You can give the detailed demonstration, but if you are giving the demonstration face to face, it gives you can supervise when the customer is making the actual user product. What you can do, you can give your product to the customer in their hand to use, which gives more relevance. Or in case of the technical products, it also helps a lot, because yeah, it give more relevance to the customer because you are actually using them the product in their hand. Immediate feedback. In personal selling, you get immediate feedback from the customer. This is the only market promotion technique where you get the immediate feedback. And at the end of every call visit, a salesman can easily judge whether this customer is interested or not. Triple awards. So in salesmanship, you get the triple awards. You benefit salesmanship benefit three parties. First one is salesman, first one is customer, sorry, then is salesman, and third one is the company. If a customer will be satisfied with their products and services, salesman will be able to achieve their targets, company will be able to achieve their profits or maximize their sales. So salesmanship or personal selling gives triple rewards. Improving image. Note this thing that salesmanship always remove the bad image or misunderstand by uh, remove the misunderstanding of the company's image in the product customer mind. So always uh, personal selling, what helps the customer is it helps in satisfying the customer with the product and services, and uh, helps in detailed explanation about the company, and removes all the doubts and misunderstanding of the product. Process of personal selling. So basically, the process of personal selling is often occurs face to face, and it can be take place through phone conversation, online video conferencing, or online text communication. So the main step in the personal selling process include prospecting, pre-approach, approach, sales presentation, handling and objections, closing, and the follow-up. Prospecting. The first step of the personal selling process is called prospecting. It means to locate your potential customers. There are many sources from which your potential customers can be found: observation, social contacts, uh, online ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, LinkedIn ads, commercial available databases, or what's not, social media is the you can say the gold mine for the leads. If you go for B2B leads, LinkedIn is works really great. Pre-approach. The next step in the personal selling process is called pre-approach. The pre-approach involves the preparation for the sales presentation. This preparation involves research about the potential customer. You have to do the market research, and research is always also helps in planning the right sales presentation. The approach. The next step in the personal selling process is called the approach. The approach refers to the initial contact between the salesman and the customer. During this stage, the salesman takes a few minutes for the small talk and get to know the potential customer. The goal of this approach is to determine the specific needs and wants of the individual customer. Sales presentation. The next step in this personal selling process is called the sales presentation. This sales presentation involves the salesperson presenting their products and services, their qualities, and also demonstrating their features of the product. Ideally, the sales presentation will be individualized to match the needs and desire of the potential customers. Handling objectives and objections. In some cases, after receiving the sales presentation, the potential customer will have some questions or concern. In order to secure a sale, the salesperson will must address those questions or concern, which is known as the handling and objections. Closing the sale. The next step in the personal selling process refers to closing the sale. Closing the sale refers to finalizing the sale and persuading the potential customer to make the purchase. During the closing the sale step, prices and payment options may be negotiated. Follow up. The final step in the personal selling process is referred to as the follow up. The follow up involves the salesperson contacting the customer after the sale to secure that the ensure that the customer is satisfied or not. Follow up is really much important. It gives a very much importance in personal selling. A successful follow-up stage of personal selling can be very much effective in ensuring the repeated sales and obtaining the additional referrals from the satisfied customers. Theories of personal selling. So basically there are four theories, four important theories, if I say, in personal selling. And the first theory is the AIDS theory of selling, which means attention, interest, desire, action, and satisfaction. Firstly, we have to secure the attention of the customer, then we have to gain his interest and develop the desire, induce the action, and build the satisfaction. So come to the first point, securing attention. So it is a very crucial step in the AIDS process. The objective is to put the prospect into the right state of mind to continue the sales talk. The salesperson has to convince the prospect for participating into face-to-face interview. A good beginning of the conversation may get the stage for all the sales presentation. Interest creating, or we can say gaining interest. The second step is to uh, intensify the prospect attention, and so that it involves in the strong interest. To achieve this, salesperson has to be enthusiastic about the product. Another method is to hand over the product to the prospect and let him handle the brochures and other individuals, but under others visual ads. Through the interest phase, the hope is to search out the selling appeal which is most likely to effective. Desire stimulative. After you have secured the attention, gain the interest, now is to develop the desire. The prospect must be kindled to develop a strong desire for the product. This is a ready to buy point. Objections from the customer at this point must be carefully handled, because this is you can say a buy or not buy a stage. Either customer will buy from this stage or no. Time is saved and the chances of making sale it can be improved if the objections are anticipated and answered before the prospect raises them. Action inducing. If the presentation has been perfect, the prospect is ready to act, is to buy. Very often there may be some hesitation on the part of the prospect. The salesperson should very carefully handle this stage and tries to close this deal effectively. Once the buyer has asked the seller to pack the product, then it is the responsibility of seller to reassure the customer that the decision was correct. Satisfaction. The customer should be left with the impression that the salesperson merely have been deciding. After the sales has been made, the salesperson should ensure that the customer is satisfied with the product. The salesperson should sense the prospect mind and brief his talks. The next theory is the right set of circumstances theory of selling. It is also known as the SR theory. According to it, circumstances are prevailing in a given situation leads to a prospect to behave in a particular manner. So it means that the situation is the psychological driver which evokes the response, may be positive or negative. This theory suggests that the persuasive selling situation should be created by a salesperson to influence the prospect in their favor. So right side set of circumstances theory tells that you have to respond at the particular situation at the right time. If you are waiting for the right time that the customer will tell about their objections what they are handling in the product, so don't go for it, because he will not ask all the time. You have to pinpoint all their pain points, then finally you can choose the right set of circumstances and get your product say sold by the customer. Buying formula theory. This theory is known as the buyer oriented theory. It looks at to the buyer side, their needs and problems. You firstly have to understand their needs, then give a solution through your product, and finally which gives them which finally must give them a satisfaction. Behavioral equation theory. So this theory is a sophisticated version of the right set of circumstances. So this theory, using a stimulus response model and using large number of findings from behavioral research, this theory explains buying behavior in terms of purchasing decision process viewed as a phase of learning process. Four essential elements of learning process included in the stimulus response model are drive, cues, response and the reinforcements. So it is K is equal to P into D into V into Q. So K here is the buying behavior. Buying behavior is determined by these four things: internal buyer response or the act of purchasing a brand, the present drive or the motivation level. V is the incentive potential, what is the value of product or demand. Q is the intensity of all cues, the triggering product or informational. So this all makes a behavioral equation theory. Customer relationship based approach. This approach is made to retain the customer by giving special services after the selling product. They can give they can ask for the testimonials. If they give testimonials, they give some discount. Also they can give a thank you message or thank you note, or you can give a award if you are into a course business. So just you have to make a customer relation with your customers after the. Now come to the sales force management challenges. So the first sales force management challenge is the selling team, the team which we hire for the personal selling. So it is one of the most difficult tasks a sales manager faces, is to find the skill representatives which offer them all the information they need and oversee them in action. Next is the recruitment and selection. Yeah, it involves in it connects with the first point, that you have to find the right sales team, recruit the right person and select the best person. Training and development. If you already have the right team in place, you need to make sure that they will deliver the results your superior expects. As a sales manager, it is your job to provide sales representatives with the training and coaching. Keep your team motivated. You have to keep your team motivated. It's not, can't just take a collective approach when you feel that your sales representatives need some extra motivation. A sales manager need to get to know the entire team on an individual level by understanding what motivates each representative. Maintaining consistency. You will be tempted to treat sales representatives differently based on how much you trust them or how well you get along with them. Some top sellers may even get away with not following company selling methods. So this might not seem like a problem at first, but in time other sales representative will notice. So they might complain that they are treated differently. So don't treat differently. Maintain consistency in your relationship with the entire team. Aligning with the marketing department. We know this can be different for a sales team, but it is a crucial aspect for the success of a company. A sales manager should schedule the regular meetings with the marketing department and tackle the selling together. Each member of the team should have clear tasks, in order to improve their numbers. So thanks. That's all about it. The sales management meaning, process, importance, and theories and challenges. So I hope you like the video. If you like, make sure you subscribe the channel and don't forget to turn on the bell icon to never miss any future updates. Also, you can check out my blog at gladtutor.com. I sell all the management notes and PPTs there. You can check it out. Thank you very much.